press pause on that. Before we can get to the Anunnaki, you got to understand, because if I talk about the Anunnaki without explaining all of this cosmic history, you know what happens? Eventually, when we get to the end, you're going to say, well, where did Anunnaki come from? Or who facilitated the Anunnaki? So instead of just starting from the Anunnaki, what's that? And G-Mash in the building. G-Mash is one of our new additions to class, okay? So y'all watch out for that brother G$Mash. G$Mash is a new addition. So y'all make sure y'all keep him safe in the live, okay? But we have to cover all the information so that you will understand. So you won't have to ask yourself who facilitated the Anunnaki and this and what was before them. So I'm trying to cover all that information and as we approach reading from the tablets. Okay. Now, when we get to the Sumerian tablets, guys, that's our history. That's Earth's history. Okay. You got to get the cosmic history first, because the cosmic history is directly attached to our history, right? And this is what most people not doing. You know what I'm saying? Most of these folks out here, I guess they just ain't got to the level where they can teach it on this level. But you got to teach it in its totality, okay? So today yesterday we talked about the Lyrans, okay? We talked about the lion-headed race that is responsible for this version of humanity as we know it. And I also told you about another race of beings that facilitated our adversaries, okay? And the adversaries to humanity. Oh, what's up, Sin Breezy? Shout out to Sin Breezy in the building. My sister. Much love, sis. Much love. So today we're going to talk about these other beings, the Carians, and how they created the reptilian race and how the reptilian race became a formidable foe of humanity, right? So yesterday we talked about that. We talked about the Galactic Federation War, right? The reptilian human conflict. But there's still some more information within that war that you need to know about, okay? Now, we are minimum 1 billion years back at this point, okay? Now, before Earth was this version of Earth that we know, the cosmic beings knew this planet as Tiamat. It was a different planet. It was different. Tiamat was the planet. What's up, Miss Donna? Shout out to Donna in the building. I forgot to do roll. I got to check roll. Make sure we got everybody in here. Let me do the roll. All my paid course members and UMF members, put the number 5 in the chat. All my paid course members and UMF members, put the number 5 in the chat. Let me see who we got in here. Before I speak on Tiamat. Simply Imperatives. What up, my brother? Imperatives. Pink Sugar, J2, Leandrio, Rob, G-Mash in the building, Israel, Corlisa, Miss Donna, El, J Sween, Canayo, D. Lynn, my sister. Shout out to D. Lynn, man. Much love, baby girl. Sunset Lady. The gifting God, Mr. Sherm, is in the building. We still celebrating Gigi. Gigi birthday all week, guys. So y'all make sure y'all reach out. Show her some love. So it look like we got, Miss Kim. Where Miss Kim at? We need to wait on Miss Kim. Let me hit my sister up right quick. We're going to be patient for Miss Kim. We're going to wait on my sister. All right, hold on. Let me message Miss Kim right quick. There she go. Okay. And I know Kathy ain't gonna be here today. Me and Kat always talk out the class. She gonna be meeting with her co-workers for a dinner. So Kat told me she wasn't gonna be here. All right, let me get Miss Kim in the building. Okay, listen. So like I say, listen, Earth used to be a planet called Tiamat. Okay? It was not the Earth that we know today. All right? A lot is said about the shape of the Earth. Now, I happen to have some insight about it because, like I say, I've been researching these things for a long time. But guys, I want y'all to understand something. Y'all have seen asteroids before, right? We've all seen like meteorites and asteroids, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen an asteroid or a meteorite. Okay. So we know that they got ebbs and flows. Like they not completely circular, right? Some of them are just, rocky, big rocky surfaces, right? So for some reason, when we talk about the shape of the Earth, people tend to think the Earth is this perfect spherical obloid, right? Like that's just, but how could the Earth be perfectly spherical, guys, if we got peaks and valleys? Do y'all understand that? Like when you go outside and you stand on the ground, you're standing on the Earth. The Earth is not the blue sky. You know how many people look up and they think that that's the Earth? That's not the Earth. That's the atmosphere. It's crazy that I even got to say that. That's the atmosphere. You're standing on the Earth. Okay? So when you walk, if you walk to a body of water, right? Let's say you walk to the Atlantic Ocean, right? You walk right just before you go into the Atlantic Ocean. If you remove all the water from the banks, all the water from the ocean, guess what you're going to see? A trench. Okay? It goes down. When you go, because people say the continents are split apart. The continents are still connected. They're just not connected at the top. They're connected under the water. The water sits on top of the soil that's connected from bank to bank. Africa is still connected to America. It's just that the Atlantic Ocean is covering that space. If you remove the water, it's going to be, well, you can walk. You understand? So I don't know why people think that the Earth is some kind of, that tells you right there that it's not a sphere. It's not that. It's more accustomed to what you would see in an asteroid. It's more accustomed to what you would see in something like that. Okay. So when people talk about we live on a flat Earth, it's because we live on the top surface. Okay. There's an inner Earth too. You can go inside the rock, right? So this is a rock we live on. Let's be clear about this. We live on a rock, okay? You can go inside of the rock, right? There's an inner Earth, and then there's a surface Earth. The surface. There's an inner and there's a surface. We live on the surface. You got some people living the inside. And listen, your mountains, even some of your mountains are jagged edges of what used to be Tiamat. That's broken off. So think about that. Whatever the planet used to be, when it was impacted by Nibiru's moon and it broke apart, it left a lot of jagged pieces. A lot of jagged pieces and shit. A lot of, just like if you break open a stone right now, you're going to kind of get an idea of what the Earth looks like, right? Check this out. So Tiamat, this is what I'm finna give y'all. I'm finna give y'all something. Y'all always hear folks talking about the mountains about the tall trees, right? You hear folks talking about all the time about these trees that used to be here that were so tall, these huge trees, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you know about these giant trees, right? That once existed. That was during the time of Tiamat. Tiamat, when Earth was Tiamat, it had these tall trees and it had the Titans. Amongst this planet was the Titans. When we talk about the Titans, The Titan, like these, like the giants that they find in here are not the Titans. I want y'all to understand it's a big difference between the giants we find around the world and the Titans. The Titans are, a lot of these have became fossilized. A lot of these are, some of these mountains that we think are mountains are actually giants, right? Are actually like fossilized giants. And it's hard for people to conceive, but when you're in this levels, yeah, the Titans was like that, my brother. Kind of like Jack and the Beanstalk. That's where the whole story of Jack and the Beanstalk come from. The beanstalk was one of the tall trees, and the giant that Jack climbed up to was one of the Titans. So that's where that story comes from. But when y'all hear about that stuff, that comes from the time that Earth was called Tiamat. All right? It was a different world. It was a different planet. And then Tiamat was destroyed by Nibiru's moon, okay? When Nibiru got knocked out of its orbit, when Sirius C went supernova, knocked Nibiru out of its orbit, sent it into its 3,600 year orbit, which brought it into our solar system. Its moon, boom, hit Tiamat, blew it to bits. That's what created the asteroid belt. That is what created the asteroid belt, our asteroid belt. The Kuiper belt was created from Maldek, when Maldek was destroyed. So, like I say, guys, it's a lot of information to our existence that you've never been given, and that's why I developed this class, to give y'all an insight, to give y'all a look into this information. Okay. And I enjoy it. I love learning. I asked for these answers. I asked for them. I said, God, I want to know the truth. I want to serve you the right way. I want to, be living my life to the fullest. Right? And this is the path that God took me down. 18 years of getting this knowledge. Okay? And I trust this knowledge. I trust my intuition. What about you? See, you haven't began mastery till you learn to trust your intuition. My intuition has created 2 successful businesses for myself. My intuition has created a successful nuclear family for myself. My intuition I got trustworthy friends around me. Y'all, and I consider y'all my friends too, bro, because anytime you show somebody value and love, that's what real friendship is built upon. Okay? It's one thing for somebody to say they're your friend, but when somebody values you and shows you that love, that's real friendship. So I got a lot of good things in my life that come from trusting my intuition. Right? That's that same intuition that's telling me which way to vote when I need to vote. Same intuition. So, like I say, stop trying to tell folks how to vote. Folks know what they need to do for themselves. But like I said, at the end of the day, man, it's important that you know this information, because the more you know, the easier your journey will be. You can decide what you want to give energy to and what you don't want to give energy to. Okay? My goal is to show you the truth. My goal is to stop letting these false prophets take advantage of y'all. These preachers out here trying to sell God and trying to sell heaven. I'm telling you right now, your preacher is the furthest thing from spiritual. He is the furthest thing from in alignment. Okay? Do y'all see Shawnee O'Neal? Y'all see Shaq ex-wife? Her husband is a preacher, and he out here telling these folks to give him money to build him a new church. He say God knocked the church down in a hurricane so the people will give him the money. I'm like, what is wrong with you, man? You out here telling folks why do you need a church to do God's work? I go outside and preach God's word from outside under a tent. under a tree. But you're going to tell folks to give you money to build you a church. No, if people going to donate money, people need to be donating money to something that's going to help the community. People need to be donating something to the money. We're going to do something for our children. We're going to donate money to somebody who can build a tech school that can train our children on how to code, how to do cybersecurity, because these are the things that's important for the next generation of melanated, the melanated community, for the melanated children. We need to be training our children how to build these apps, how to build these video games. I don't hear pastors talking about that. We need to be putting our children in positions of power, politically and every way. An $880 million settlement for abuse. They got that in their back pocket. That ain't nothing to them. Shit, that's couch cushion money for them. They made that last month. They made that money last month. That's wild, man. That's wild. Yeah, that's what they do. Think about that, Sunset lady. Think about that. The fact that they even got to settle that, man, that's crazy. Y'all been doing what to children? Y'all think Diddy bad. Diddy ain't got nothing on them priests. Y'all think Diddy bad. Diddy ain't got nothing on them priests. So let me ask y'all something. Think about that. What my sister just said about the Catholic Church, right? These people supposed to be servants of God. Think about that. These supposed to be like the highest churches in the land. Now the Lyrans don't. You got to understand the difference between the Lyrans and humanity, right? So you when you talk about the Lyrans, they lion-headed people. They don't have a pigment like us. They not. That's us. That's us. That's not them. The humanoid Lyrans. The humanoids that had Lyran DNA, there was some that was brown. But the Lyrans are lions. They look like lions. They not black or white, my bro. They look like lions. But the humanoids looked like us. The first humanoids looked like us, if you understand. And they were Lyran. They are a mix of Lyran DNA and all of these other essences that they took from out the cosmos, okay? So the first humanoids were brown, like us, but not necessarily the Lyran race. Okay, let me say it like this. The pure Lyrans. You got pure Lyrans and you got hybrid Lyrans. Now, if that make more sense to you, you got pure Lyrans and you got hybrid Lyrans. And some of the first humanoid races were hybrid Lyrans, and they were brown. Those were the beings that lived on Vega, that lived in Avion on Vega. Okay? So yeah, you should know that, we are the first humanoids. Brown skin races are the first humanoids. Yeah. But don't fall too much for illustrations. Everybody gonna have an illustration. Everybody gonna make little illustrations and stuff. But the pure Lyrans was just lions. They were lion-headed, humanoid body, lion-headed. And like I say, the humans were their first creation in this universe. Because I don't know what they were doing in the universe they were in before. But like I was saying, man, these folks supposed to be the highest church in the land, and they doing this kind of stuff to children. So what that tell you? That tell you that maybe the church ain't as godly as you think. Maybe the church is being ran by somebody that's against God. Maybe somebody trying to fool you. Maybe somebody got you participating. This is why, let me tell y'all something. This is why I teach. I teach to show the people that I love what they're participating in. Because see, ignorance is not an excuse. I'm going to say that again. Ignorance is not an excuse. Going around believing in something, following something, and not knowing what you are part of, not doing your due diligence and doing your research. Ignorance is not an excuse. So when I tell you about what Easter really is, when I break it down to you, what Easter really is, and what you really celebrating on Christmas, when I show you this stuff, you're going to understand why I teach. Because, you know, if don't nobody tell you, you're not going to ever know. You're not going to ever know. Okay? So, and everything I tell you from when we get into these Sumerian tablets, that's all fact, guys. That is not up for debate. Ishtar is the origins of Easter. The holiday you celebrate that's called Easter, the origins of that is the Babylonian god Ishtar. And that was a sexual fertility ritual. It was basically a week-long orgy. That's basically what Easter is. That's what Easter was, a week-long fertility ritual. That's what the Easter bunny, that's what the egg is about. It's about fertility. And the bunny symbolizes the sex. Oh, yeah, it's coming, Sunset Lady. It's coming, Sunset Lady. She said, wait, what? Oh, you thought Easter was about some resurrection or something like that? Nah, that's from the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. She's an Anunnaki. Her name was Inanna in some lands. Shiva, Kali. Oh, well, you in the right place. You in the right place. It ain't what you think it is. Like I say, man, dealing around up in here, bro, you're gonna hear some stuff, and like I say, it's gonna go completely against everything you've been raised on. But it's the truth. Just ask yourself real quick. What the hell do an Easter bunny and an egg got to do with the resurrection? Just ask yourself that. Why? Why is it so heavily associated? If Easter itself was just about celebrating the resurrection of Christ, why attach it to an Easter bunny? That's what you got to ask yourself. Nah, that's not true, SOE. That's not true, my bro. That's not true at all. Like I say, you know, you're going to hear a lot of shit out here. There's the people that build information off of fact and research, and there's the people that build the information off of conjecture. The information we got come off of fact. And let me say this. Anything I tell you about, you can go and check it for yourself. Go look up Ishtar. Go look up the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. This is what I want y'all to do tonight. Use Yandex, use DuckDuckGo. Google does the Babylonian goddess Ishtar have a correlation or a connection to the holiday Easter? Just look that up and see if there's any connections that pop up from that. And see, when you say I heard they used to sacrifice embryos, who is they? And what would that, and how would, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to make sense. Like, if somebody say something like that, it's got to have some real information behind it for somebody to support it. I'll support the information long as it got some facts behind it, long as it got some truth behind it. Like, what I'm telling you is I'm breaking down the holiday itself as it sits, right? So they give us Easter and they say, oh, it's about the resurrection, but then they give you an Easter bunny and they give you an egg. Well, guess what? Rabbits don't have eggs. Rabbits have live births. So why the rabbit, why the egg? And that's what you got to look into. You have to look into the symbology. You got to look into the symbology of it. The rabbit is symbolic of something and the egg is symbolic of something. Like I told you, it was one big orgy. One big orgy. Corlisa, that might be true. I ain't never see that part, but that might be true. That might have some truth to it. That like sound like getting into the details of the fertility rituals. But that might be true. If you found that somewhere, it might be true. But I know that that's where Easter comes from. And every time we get, our people line up in the church and we celebrating these rituals and we don't know where this shit come from. We just trusting everything. That's the problem with the black community, man. We super gullible. We trust anything the white man give us. Anything the white man give us, man, we just trust that shit. Now, like I say, bro, it's a reason. It's a reason why, though, guys. We've been through trauma. Like, ain't nobody been through this kind of trauma that we've been through, bro. Slavery is a real trauma. That's a real trauma. They used to... Yeah, see what I'm saying? That sound right. That sound like that's got some legitimacy too. Yeah. So, man, they used to take the warriors, right? They used to take the strong black men that used to resist master, and they used to make an example out of them in front of everybody. So what you think that's doing to the women and the little children that's seeing them cut off the warrior's private parts and they seeing him get chastised? What you think that's doing to the children when they did that to him in slavery? It's conditioning their mind to never step out of line. It was conditioning their minds to never step out of line. Don't ever step out of line with master or else this will happen. So we've been conditioned. Yeah, man, come on. Yes, we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to fall in line and trust him. Trust his word. Don't run afoul. Don't cause problems. So all I'm doing right now is trying to free my people. That's all I'm doing is trying to free my people because I love y'all. I don't want y'all participating in these rituals. Because I know what's going on, man. When I talked to y'all yesterday, I talked to y'all a little bit about the fact that this boils down to good versus evil, right? Guys, I remember when I first started getting into knowledge, I started to go away from a lot of concepts, right? And, I remember at one time I used to ask myself, I wonder, do God really do exist? You know what I'm saying? Because this shit crazy out here. All of this is before I had the understanding I had. But y'all know, all of the research I did, it brought me back to God. After I did all of that research and everything, trying to figure out all of this stuff, bro, it brought me back to God. And now I clearly see what's going on. Right? And like I say, there's a force out there that is vehemently opposed to God and his creation. Okay? And this is why you are under attack. This is why our people are under attack. We are part of the divine creation. We are connected to the divine creation. You just don't know that you're divine. You just don't know you powerful. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to do is get you to see your prison. I'm trying to get you to see your oppressor. I'm trying to get you to see your enemy. Like, they doing a lot of stuff to y'all so you can't see. They doing a lot of stuff to y'all so you can't see. From the diet they giving you, from the stress they keeping you under, they keeping you distracted. They keep a bunch of distractions going on, right? So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, I want y'all to be prepared because that's what it boils down to. It boils down to a war of good and evil. So you need to know about the reptilians. That's why we teach. Because you looking around at the world, you like, man, why do these white people hate us like this? And you think it's just them. You think that these white folks was able to overpower us by themselves. You think the whites was able to rise to power. You mean to tell me you think the same people that we taught how to wash under their arms, the same people that we civilized, that we taught how to walk upright, you think that them people just overpowered us by themselves? They had some help. They had some help. All right? That's why they was given the crown. That's why they was given the crown. Oh, Marduk took the kingship away from us and gave it to them. Marduk, I told y'all, man, that damn Marduk took the kingship from us and he gave it to them. We gonna get there. So yeah, you need to know this information so you just understand what's going on a little bit better. All right? So yesterday we spoke about our parent race, the Lyrans. I explained that these beings are much older, much more evolved spiritually and technologically than us, by millions of years, if not billions. The universe is so large that we can only deal with it in quadrants. So if possible to divide it into fours, the most we could focus on is our quadrant known as the known universe. It is said that these beings manifested themselves into this universe from another universe. But I believe them, along with another 5D species known as the Carians, to be the oldest species of the known universe. These Carians, who are bird-like humanoid beings. Let's get the Carians on the screen. These Carians who these bird-like beings with human bodies, highly evolved, highly spiritually evolved, highly technical, okay? These Carians who are bird-like humanoid body beings are all the creation of the Kuttah, who is a 7D light body, also known as, as a 9D light body, also known as Yahweh, which makes more sense than Enlil being Yahweh, because I always knew Yahweh to be a creator God. Enlil was not procreation at all. The Lyrans were the evolution of lions and felines in general. Carians and Lyrans were both the creation of the Kuttah, aka Yahweh. The Carians were evolution of avians or birds. Just as we have a creator God that is centered on love, compassion, and creation, we also have the duality to that, the opposite creation, which is the darkness. Just as the Kuttah was created from the union of male electrical energy and feminine magnetic energy, the divine balance, there's also the birth of unbalanced dark energy manifested from the trauma of the male energy. This trauma was caused by a forced separation of the fatherly energy from the motherly energy. This separation caused the male to manifest from pure logic and thought with no feminine energy, which brings love and compassion. The result of this manifestation created the Ahriman that we called Lucifer. It's a big difference in the terms Lucifer and Satan. If Yahweh is the Father and Yeshua was the Son, Lucifer would be the father of evil, and Satan would be the son. Okay, so if you want to understand, a dichotomy of what we're talking about, right? So when I explain to y'all about the system of God, I explain to y'all that it's other creational forces that's at play when you're talking about creating a universe. All right, the universe and the multiverse, right? Now, those creational forces created consciousness. Consciousness is Yahweh. That's the God of love and compassion, so forth, right? But in every universe, you have duality. So for every Yahweh, you're going to have a Lucifer, okay? So in the same sense that Yahweh is the father of all things of positive nature, Lucifer is the father of all things of negative nature. Okay? So humanity is special because we have the most developed emotional body. That means like all these other beings, they like damn near like robots. They're more like robotic in their nature. But we're very fluid. We are loving. We emote. All of the things I talked to y'all about yesterday that makes us as amazing as we are. But you just don't know it. You don't know the real power of love. You don't know the real power of compassion. You don't know the real power of the human body. Guys, I'm telling you right now, we are a secret weapon. We are a secret weapon that don't know how to activate the weaponry. That's what I want you to understand. All right? These people that oppose you are scared to death that y'all gonna find out how to activate that secret weapon. Why do you think they throw brothers in jail for trying to wake you up? Think about this. Hold on. Slow down. Listen. Think about what they did to all the brothers that tried to wake somebody up. I ain't scared. Whatever they want to bring to me, you can do whatever you want to the flesh. My soul gonna live on, big dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna serve my purpose. So listen. Think about what they do to all the brothers that try. Now, why the hell would you throw a man in jail for teaching or for having a difference of opinion or a different perspective? Right? We're not talking about men who teaching people how to make bombs. We're not talking about men who out here doing dangerous stuff to humanity. We're talking about men that's teaching history, that's teaching a different form of history. Right? So why would you want to throw them people away? Why would you want to unalive them people? Why would you want to kill William Cooper? Why would you want to throw Malachi York in jail forever? That's because those people were trying to wake you up. Those people were trying to tell you about the people who are in hiding. See, they love y'all when y'all sleep. They love y'all when y'all sleep and y'all don't know nothing. But it's when y'all start waking up and somebody telling y'all, it's like, oh shit, they gonna teach these fools the truth. They gonna find out how much power. They can't afford, guys, for us to wake up. You know why? Because we would destroy them. It'll be that quick. It'll be that quick. That's why it's important for us to wake up. That's why it's important for us to get this information. Somebody's going through a lot of trouble, man, to make sure you got poisons in your food. Somebody going through a lot of trouble to make sure you got... Y'all know all of this shit that they can make without the poisons, right? Y'all know that, right? All the other countries ain't got no problem telling these corporations, don't put this in the food. Don't do this. We ain't gonna allow you to do this. But for some reason, over here in this country, it's allowed. Lucifer is here, guys. All right? Lucifer is here. His minions is here. His people is here. So at the end of the day, if you wonder what's going on in the world, that's what you're seeing. You see the synagogue of Satan over there right now bombing babies, dropping bombs on innocent people. They telling y'all, oh, we fighting Hasma and all of this and Hamas and all of this shit. Man, y'all dropping bombs on innocent children, man. Y'all dropping bombs on innocent children, homie. Ain't nothing you can say to me that's respectful about that. So I know who you represent. I know who you represent. Because a godly person, a person that's of God, would never drop a bomb. And if they did drop a bomb, it'll be only on the enemy or the negative entity. So yeah, Lucifer is just as real. Lucifer is just as real as Yahweh, as God, okay? Duality is always at play in the family. In any universe that you in, duality gonna be at play. Now, I speak on the Ahriman or Lucifer because he plays a very pivotal role in this story. This week, I revealed to y'all that the Carians, after millions of years of evolution, had reached an advanced state of being that allowed them to create life by design. Remember I told y'all it's 3 forms of creation? Yeah, that's supposed to be a representation of Lucifer. The light bearer, exactly. Good job, Imperatus. That's exactly what that is, the light bearer. Now, I speak on the Ahriman or Lucifer because he plays a very pivotal role in the story. This week, I revealed to y'all that the Carians, after millions of years of evolution, had reached an advanced state of being that allowed them to create life by design. This is something that all creation does when it reaches the highest levels. The Carians wanted to expand their genetics, so they chose the so they chose the reptiles on their planet to do the genetic experimentation on. So basically, man, these people be so complex and so advanced. They basically can control their evolutionary process, okay? So by grafting their essence to these reptiles, this was their way of making themselves, I guess, more dynamic, more stronger in some ways, right? So they wanted to just wanted to expand their genetics, right? I don't understand that because I'm not a goddamn 7D being. But I guess this is what they do. The Carians wanted to expand their genetics, so they chose the reptiles on their planet to do the genetic experimentation on. Okay? They chose the reptiles. Nah, it's not Ishtar, big dog. The Statue of Liberty, he was right. He was right. He was right. It's always been said that the Statue of Liberty was representation of Lucifer. Yeah, it's not Ishtar. Ishtar is a Babylonian goddess. You ain't gonna see other than the holiday of Easter, you're not gonna see too much Ishtar references in America. You got to remember Ishtar is Inanna, right? That's Kali, Shiva. So you'll see her represented as Shern. You'll see her represented through the Hindu religion, but you're not going to see much of her in America. But the Statue of Liberty, he was right about that, though. It's always been said that was Lucifer. Lucifer's a male. It's a male. It's a male. He was created. You got to remember something. Lucifer is devoid of the divine balance. The divine balance is when male and female is together. The male energy and female energy together, that's divine balance. All right? So Lucifer is just masculine energy, just pure masculine energy. Pure masculine energy by itself is a destructive force. If a man didn't have his mother to give him balance, or he didn't have some woman at some point, he wouldn't be as compassionate. He wouldn't be as forthright. All right. And that's our nature. Our nature is meant to be balanced. Okay. So you got to have the divine balance, which is the masculine and the feminine. Lucifer is male energy, is all masculine energy devoid of the divine balance. So he lacks compassion. He lacks love. Yeah, that's a male. Yeah, we always thought it was a woman. It was always taught to you that it was Lady Liberty. But it's a man. It's a man. And you got to remember, man, you know, them people play like that. That's a part of you got to remember this too. They always play like this. This transformer, this trans agenda. This is a part of what they do. It's been in your face. Wait till you find out a lot of the older presidents' wives were actually men. Wait till you find out that. Wait till you find out the founding fathers and what they were into. See, they always been playing on your top. They always been playing on your top. It's about chaos. It's about confusion. Keeping you in confusion. So let me get back to the information. Like I was saying. So the Carians wanted to extend their genetics. So they used the reptiles that they had on their planet, be it alligator, a snake, whatever it is. They chose the reptiles to extend these genetics. All right. But the Carians left the creation before it came to term. So the Carians created the reptilians as we know them, as a humanoid reptilians or reptoid is what they call them. But they left them before they came full term. So they were still eggs. So the Carians left the creation while they were still eggs. Okay? Now this is where the story takes a turn. The cosmic story goes that the Ahriman stumbles upon the reptilian eggs, and he took them to his world of Alpha Draconis, where they were hatched and raised under his stewardship, which makes perfect sense because I always was taught that the reptilians came from Draco. But when I learned that the reptilians were naturally from Orion, right? It made sense when I heard this story on how they got to Draco. Okay? So that's why when you hear Draco reptilian, now you know that they were transferred to the Draco constellation, where they were hatched and raised under the stewardship of Lucifer. Now this explains two things. One, knowing the Carians were original inhabitants of Orion. Number two, it explains the reptilians' nature and mindset. So when you understand the reptilians have a mindset of destruction, of destroy, conquer, subjugate, it makes perfect sense who they learned from. Because I asked myself, I was like, why would God create these, mama? You know what I'm saying? But so we know who raised the reptilians. We know who gave them their mindset. Ahriman was devoid of compassion and love, so he raised them to be this way. He taught them that it was their birthright to conquer and destroy. He also taught them that their creator abandoned them and that they should hate them for that. Okay? So think about that. He was telling them reptilians, man, look, your creator abandoned you. Your maker abandoned you. And so he raised them to believe that it was their birthright to conquer and destroy, which led the reptilians eventually to attack their own creators. So the Carians ended up making their worst nightmare. The Carians ended up having to fight a war against the reptilians. The Carians ended up joining the Galactic Federation. The Carians ended up joining the Galactic Federation and helping with that because, like I say, they ended up creating their worst nightmare. That's kind of ironic, right? That your creation will come back to bite you in the ass. So now we know how the seeds of hate was established in the Draco. And now the stage is set for these races to cross paths in the system of Solaris. That's what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday we talked about clean up on Alpha. Clean up on Alpha. Yesterday we talked about the human reptilian conflict. We talked about what facilitated that war. We talked about how the reptilians lived in peace with the humans at first, right? But then the higher elite reptilians got wind of them living in harmony with the humans, and they say, that's not what we do. The higher elite reptilians was like, that's not what we do. Right? And so they say, no, we gotta subjugate, we gotta enslave. So instead of starting an outright war right away, they decide to infiltrate human society. They started infiltrating the government. They started infiltrating relationships by interbreeding, intermarriages. Before you knew it, the reptilians had infiltrated themselves into every part of human society. And that's when the humans looked up and say, oh, these niggas got to go. Oh, these niggas got to go. Y'all done overstayed your welcome. Right? Time to go, dog. But then the Draco was like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. We run this now. Right? Imagine, it's like when you ever seen one of them videos with a squatter, with the house squatters? Right? Imagine letting somebody stay in your house. Imagine letting somebody stay in your house. And then all of a sudden you come home one day, you're like, hey man, it's time for you to go. And they're like, no, man, this is my house now. This is my house now. So that's kind of like what the reptilians did to the humans in Vega. It's my house now, punk. Real Debo style. And the humans said, we ain't gonna stand for that. So that ended up causing them to launch the first attack. The humans launched the first attack against the reptilians, and then the war was on. The humans feeling like they were left no choice but to fire the first shot. But this attack is met swiftly and aggressively by the Siakar, in which they launched a mega bomb that blew apart the humans' homeworld of Avion. A mega bomb. Imagine that. You know the reptilians got some different level technology. This was a terrible loss for the humans. Some were able to escape and sought refuge in the worlds of Sirius and Orion. You remember yesterday I showed y'all this migration map? This is what they're talking about right here. So after Avion was blown to bits, some were able to escape and they sought refuge in the worlds of Sirius and Orion. It was in Sirius that the Lyran humanoids would meet other beings oppressed by the Siakar. With these groups, they would eventually form the Galactic Federation of Orion. These groups consisted of Arcturians, Andromedans, Pleiadians, but also reptilians, right? So when they built the Galactic Federation of Planets, it was not just humans, it was humans and other beings too, which included reptilian beings. Think about that. I told y'all all reptilians ain't bad. All of them wasn't bad. Some of them hated the elites. See, I want y'all to understand something. When you think about these beings, don't think about them like monsters. They smarter than us. That's what you got to realize. Like these reptilians, they way more intelligent than us. They got way more knowledge than us. So you need to understand that they live in systems. They live in systems and societies where they might not agree with their rulership either. Y'all get what I'm saying? They don't agree. They might not agree with their rulership. Well, who running their planet? Well, who running the government on their world? Okay, so all of the reptilians were not bad. So you definitely had reptilians, and I'm going to talk to y'all about a very important female reptilian, a very famous. She is famous throughout the cosmos. You see, Earth got to be invited into the cosmic family. We ain't invited in the cosmic family yet. We on the outskirts. Earth is on the boonies. We in the boondocks. And we got to be invited into the cosmic family. But if we was invited into the cosmic family, this woman that I'm about to speak about, she is a hero in the cosmos. Her name is Queen Tiamat. Now, y'all done heard me say that name before, right? Y'all heard me say that name earlier today. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember me talking about Earth used to be called Tiamat. Correct, Heaven, yeah. There's some history to this shit, guys. And some real history to this. Like I say, they got y'all thinking that it's just Earth and nothing else. But no, man, it's a bigger story out there, right? And we just ain't been included. So now we starting to get included in the information. So this is a snapshot of the cosmic history. So Queen Tiamat. All right, let's get to it. We must remember the first wave of reptilians lived in peace with the Lyrans. These reptilians actually opposed the Siakar ruling elite. Leading this group was the beautiful Queen Tiamat, the dragon queen of Orion. Just an illustration. Yeah, you better believe it. Just an illustration. You better believe it. Come on now. The melanated goddesses, man. Come on, man. Y'all gonna have to learn that we have reptilian too. I keep telling y'all this. When the Anunnaki return, you're gonna see skin like this. You're gonna see Nordic skin. You're gonna see skin like this. You're gonna see brown ones. You're gonna see full-blooded reptilians. Come on, man. Put some respect on our sisters, man. Our sisters always been warriors too. I'm gonna tell y'all something too. You know, we've been trying to treat our sisters with this European mindset, with this stay in your place mindset. But man, y'all really need to do y'all research on ancient relationships. Melanated women were always fierce. They was warriors. They was queens. They was never what the white woman was. The white woman was a damsel in distress. She was always being enslaved by the white man. Go back to the caveman, cartoons. They always had the caveman, boop, popping on her head. Sit down. Do what you told. White women just got freedom. White women just got a little bit of freedom. They got just a little bit. White women just got a little bit of freedom. Black women have always been fierce, homie. Black women have always been fierce, have always been warriors. So the whole idea of us trying to put them in the same, just trying to make them be what the European has made his woman be. Nah, we got to respect their power, G. We got to respect their power. That's just what it is. Because my wife powerful. My wife a lioness. Right? She respect me, but I know she'll rip her head off. Because she built like that. So yeah, Queen Tiamat, Queen T. So Queen Tiamat was the dragon queen of Orion. She saved the humans from defeat in a great battle in the vegan star system against the Draco. And for this alliance, she was respected. For this alliance, she was respected and revered amongst many beings on this world. Right? So she like I say, she helped the humans win a great war against the reptilians. And for this, she is forever respected. So eventually the cosmic this human reptilian conflict, it eventually had a simmering down. I ain't gonna say it ended. That was a peacetime. Okay? That was a peacetime. After this, in the peacetime, the newly formed Galactic Federation of Planets had to learn to live amongst one another despite their differences. All right, so check this out. When everything cooled down, now we got all these different beings living with each other, living on different worlds, because you got to remember, the humans lost their home world. So they ended up spreading out, right? So now they living on different planets with different beings, and all these differences could cause issues. And it did cause issues, right? This ain't got nothing to do with the reptilians. This is just, one group being indifferent to another group, right? This proved to be a challenge. So in an attempt to bring peace, It was suggested that a marital alliance take place by the predominant races, this being the reptilians and the humanoid Lyrans. Okay, so in order to bring peace amongst these new colonies that is formed, they say we needed one reptilian and one human to marry. And if we can do that, we could we can have representation on both sides, and we can facilitate peace. This suggestion was accepted, and the marriage between Queen Tiamat and Prince Tiberian of Lyra was set. Okay, so let me show you. All right, I'm gonna use one of these graphics. All right, so Prince Tiberian, a Lyran prince. Okay, so he was Lyran and humanoid. Okay, so a marriage was arranged between Queen Tiamat and Prince Tiberian of Lyra. As a wedding gift, Tiberian gave Tiamat a planet. Y'all hear that? As a wedding gift, Tiberian gave Tiamat a planet. This planet was given the name Tiamat after the queen. This would later become our Earth. That boy Tiberian gave her goddamn planet. We out here thinking a little ring or something. We out here thinking a little wedding ring or something. That boy gave her a goddamn planet. Gave her a damn planet, I see. They rich. Shit, they rich. Whoever the controllers are, whoever the power is, that's who rich. So he gifted her this planet. He gifted her this planet. All right. Later, this would become our Earth. From this union, right? So listen, from the union of Queen Tiamat and Tiberian, from the union of Queen Tiamat and Tiberian, right? These human Lyran genetics and these reptilian genetics, right? Came together, and this is what created what we know as the Anunnaki. Okay, the Anunnaki was a hybrid race of royals. Okay, so when you hear about the Anunnaki, they are royals. They are a royal family because they are descendants of Queen Tiamat and Prince Tiberian. Now, see, for people who know the Anunnaki story, that answers something for them. If you haven't been introduced to it properly, sit tight, it's coming. But if you know that they are the Anunnaki royals, now you know. See, Heaven Year, you get it. Heaven Year, one of them cats that already know this information, but this right here probably just validated something for him, right? Now it's like, oh, that's how they became royals. Now we see why they are the royals, okay? So they are descendants of Queen Tiamat. A lot of people thought that Enki's mom, they thought that Queen Tiamat was Enki's mother, but that's wrong. We know who Enki's mother is. Enki's mother was not Queen Tiamat. Let's keep it a buck. If Enki mama was Queen Tiamat, he would not have been given the rank of 40. Y'all remember when he played Enki? When they played Enki and disrespected him and gave him the rank of 40? Right? And we all felt bad for Enki. Like, damn, they disrespected my boy. Okay, so now we know why. Because his mother was a Pleiadian house servant in the house of An. Enki's mother was a Pleiadian house servant. She was basically just like a concubine member, just like one of the concubine women. And that makes perfect sense. That completely aligns with the way they treated Enki. Right? They treated Enki just like he was the son of a concubine. He didn't get to ascend to the throne, right? Because of the law of double seed hops over the law of espousal. So he didn't get to ascend to the throne because he is not from the law of double seed. So this is where we get the Anunnaki from, guys. The Anunnaki comes from, in peace times, during the Galactic War, in peace times, the human Lyrans and the reptilians merged to create a new race of hybridized beings that we call the Anunnaki. Okay? Another thing, I just told you that when the humans' world of Avion was blown to bits, that they went to live in Sirius. Where does the Anunnaki come from? Better yet, where does the Dogon say that the Anunnaki come from? Where did the Dogon tell everybody that the Anunnaki come from? It all lines up. It all lines up. So we know this is true. We know the Anunnaki to be from Sirius. We know that the Dogon told us that they were from Sirius. Shit, they showed us that they was from Sirius. They showed us by building pyramids, showing you that they come from the triangle, come from the summer triangle. Okay? So, from this union, a new form of hybrid was birthed. Half humanoid Lyrans, half reptilian beings that would become what we know as the Anunnaki. They were royal hybrids birthed from the marriage of Queen Tiamat and Prince Tiberian. Now, this is what you need to know. The Anunnaki royal house was not made up of just hybrids. It was made up of pure reptilians and hybrids. So you had some pure reptilians as well. It was C. It was C. Sirius C. So you had pure reptilians, pure humanoid Lyrans, and you had the hybrids living together. Now it's going to be another war. The next war is going to be the war that's fought on this planet, on Nibiru, on the planet of Nibiru. Okay? The next war we hear about is when we start getting into the history of Nibiru, there's going to be a major war fought on Nibiru amongst these hybrids and these reptilians and these other people. Because they're going to all be, trying to figure out who should be the force, who should be the ruling force. Should it be the pure reptilians? Should it be the pure Lyrans? Should it be the hybrids? So there's going to be a war fought on Nibiru. And that war is going to last for a long time. And it was going to be so bad, the war on Nibiru was so bad that it ended up almost wiping out all the male species. So it got to the point where they decided, hey, man, if we keep going, we ain't going to have no men left. So they decided to call a truce. And out of that truce is when they established the unified Nibiru. Okay? So that's where we're going to begin. When we come back from break on Monday, we get into the tablets. Okay? We're gonna go from Nibiru to Earth. Right? I done took y'all all the way to Lyra, took y'all to Avion, in Vega, to Sirius, Orion. Now it's time to go to Nibiru, and then from Nibiru to Earth. All right? So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back in them tablets, because every time we read the tablets, I pick up some new information. I pick up some new information every time. Yeah, they needed to go. Okay, heaven year. This is why they needed to go. Excuse me. During the, they needed to go because when Sirius C went supernova and it blasted them out of orbit, it caused their atmosphere to be ripped. Okay? You know how they say we got an ozone layer above us? This protective ozone layer that protects us from the sun's UV light? That can be ripped from what we understand. That's like a physical fabric. Okay? So we got a blanket that covers us. So all of these planetary bodies got this blanket that's over them. So when Nibiru was blasted out by Sirius C going supernova, it ripped it. Okay? And that's what caused their planet to be exposed to the UV light. And that's why they needed to go. That's what ended up leading to the mission to Earth, to get that gold. The golden planet. Tiamat was the golden planet. That's another thing. The Anunnaki talks about the golden veins of Tiamat. That's what they said. They talk about Tiamat's other half. When they talk about, so basically, let me tell y'all, let me prepare y'all for something. When I told y'all that we live on the remaining half of what used to be Earth, Earth used to be Tiamat, but it got blown to bits, and that became the asteroid belt. We live on the remaining half. The Anunnaki, that's what they said. They said that when they were looking for gold, they said that first they went to the asteroid belt. The reason they went to the asteroid belt, because that was old Tiamat. That's the bits and pieces from old Tiamat. But they couldn't mine it. They couldn't mine the asteroid belt. It was too many big pieces and chunks. It was a bad trip. Right? So then they say, What about the remaining half of Tiamat? Maybe we need to go and check the remaining half of Tiamat, right? So when I tell people we live on half a rock, we live on half a huge rock. That's what folks gonna have to understand. We don't live on a perfectly spherical obloid shape. We live on a rocky surface, and it's half of what it used to be. So, people be talking about the trees got cut down. The trees didn't get cut down, they got obliterated. When the planet got half obliterated. They didn't get cut down, they got obliterated when the planet got half obliterated. And y'all know the earth done been through some extinction level events now. Y'all know the earth done been through quite a few extinction level events. All you got to do is go back in science now and look at what they was talking about. When the earth got, during the time of the dinosaurs and all of this, go back and look at that shit now. So it's like I say, man, it's more to our existence than they tell us. All I'm gonna say is this: listen, if you don't get nothing else from this course, at least take away the fact that it's more to the story of humanity than what school, than what, right, Black Legs, than what school done told you, than what church done told you. If these entities was pure in their information, we wouldn't see so much chaos and division in society. If church was what church said it was, you wouldn't see so much chaos and division. You would see the Black community being a lot stronger than what it is. So yeah, it's more to all of this shit, man. And if you want this information, I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to give it to you. So we getting ready to get into the real nitty gritty, guys. Let me tell y'all something right now. If you're taking the 4th semester, you're taking an advanced course. We usually start off with the tablets. But because I'm trying to merge my advanced class with my new students, I had to do it all together. So you about to get into the part of the story that's going to explain everything that makes up your society, your religion. You finna learn. This is what when we come back from break. All right, we're gonna be in class tomorrow. We got a class to do tomorrow. Then we're gonna break for the weekend. But when we come back Monday, you getting ready to embark on all the information that relates to how your society came together. You finna see where listen. You finna see where religion came from. You finna see where the concept of kingship came from. People think being a king is something that just we created. Yeah, we think that some human was walking around one day and just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to call myself king. And this is what it's going to mean. Fuck, no, that ain't what happened. You was given that. Somebody had to give you that. Somebody gave us that concept. We didn't develop it, guys. Somebody gave us that. So you about to see where the kingship come from. You finna see, I'm gonna tell you what else you finna see. You hear Black folks all the time saying we was the first people. We was the original man. That's finna be proven to you. You hear Black people saying that we were in America before everybody. That's finna be proven to you through the duration of this course. You about to see what the 7-day theory really was, the 7 days of creation. You about to get to see what that's really about. Because like I told y'all, a lot of what's been authored to you, you've been told that this is God's word. But what you ain't been told that this is the Anunnaki's word. This is their word, not God's word. The primitive man thought the Anunnaki was God. I'm telling you, they're not. That's the twist. So everything y'all think that come from the energy that's responsible for creation came from a man, came from Anunnaki men. The Anunnaki are not mythical creatures. The Anunnaki are not mythical creatures. They are men. They different from us. They taller than us. They bigger than us. But they, you know, they got some differences than us, but they are men nonetheless. You're going to see mothers loving their sons. You're going to see fathers disciplining their sons. You're going to see real humanity when you hear the story of the Anunnaki. And it's going to make sense to you where we get this shit from. I'm telling you guys, we ain't even begin. That's what I want y'all to know. Monday is the beginning. Monday is the beginning. Oh yeah, we're going to see some heartbreak. We're going to, oh Lord, have mercy. Come on, almost made me feel sorry for Marduk one time. Remember when Sarpanian died? When Sarpanian died and Marduk was over there like a single father, I almost felt bad for that boy. Marduk was over there like as a single father, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, guys, all my new folks, trust me, you're going to love this Anunnaki story because not only is it true, it's very eye-opening. You're going to love this Anunnaki information because it's going to answer all the questions, guys. Like I told y'all, man, this idea that God created the world in 6 days, man, stop that, man. They wasn't even the son. They wasn't even the sons of no gods, big dog. They part of the same system you are part of. If that's the case, if you want to look at it like that, we all sons of gods. You just got to understand, man, listen. They're older than us. They're more advanced than us. You're going to be more advanced one day too, right? You ain't going to say that, oh, I'm the son of God, right? You're going to be more advanced spiritually, technically one day too. You just right now, yeah, people was wrong by that. All of that's baby brain information. That's fallen angel shit. That's all baby brain information. That coming, you got to understand, man, a lot of these schools of thought coming from people who don't got the complete understanding. Y'all done got a lot of fucking information from people who don't have complete understanding. So when you run up on somebody like me that done put in the work and that done developed the complete understanding, is you're going to always clash. Because the people you got it from didn't have a complete understanding. You're fallen angels. All right, let me ask this. Family, when we read the story of the Anunnaki, did the EGG sound like fallen angels or did they sound like disgruntled employees? What they sound like to y'all, just y'all opinion, not mine. When we read about the EGG, right, and their revolt against the Anunnaki, do they sound like fallen angels or do they sound like disgruntled employees? That's why I love the story, because it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I'm talking about like all of that. If they wanted to tell us that story, if they wanted to present it, this is another thing about the Anunnaki. Folks be like, so they was trying to be like God. So no, they wasn't. Some of them was. A few of them tried to be like a God, and y'all worshiping him to this day. But all of them wasn't like that. So we got to take a look at their society and understand their society and understand why they did what they did when they did. That's why I be hating when folks got one side of a story. Don't never get one side of a story. Get both sides. So you can understand what took place. Because it's complex. It's not simple. Folks be wanting shit to be just simple. Oh, the Anunnaki was bad. End of story. No, it wasn't. It ain't that simple. Because they were not just bad. End of story. The Anunnaki was a royal family who came here and they started a gold mining corporation. And in starting that business, it was a family. It was a family of people that came here. The family ended up fighting with each other. You know, and that led to a lot of wars that took place on this planet. Everything that we got in humanity comes from these people. And I don't give a damn who say different. It's a lie. That everything we got come from them people. These are your designers of your pyramids. They design all the pyramids, all of the technically supreme pyramids, not the pieces of shits. You can tell the pyramids that the humans built. You can tell the ones that humans built, and you can see the ones that they built. All right? You do not confuse the pyramid Dozier with the pyramid Giza. Giza is technically supreme. Tight, unbelievably complex. Dozier is just a bunch of mound of sand and brick. So you can tell the difference between what humans built and what the Anunnaki constructed. Right? Far more technically supreme when the Anunnaki did it. They did teach us how to build like that though. Okay? So the Anunnaki did teach the black man how to build like that. And we went on to construct some of the most amazing structures in the world. Y'all know about Moorish architecture, right? Y'all know about the Moors, right? Put a 1 in the chat. If you want to know where the Moors learned their science, math, their ability, their architectural ability. It was right under the Anunnaki, man. That's where it comes. This is where Moorish science and math comes from. Wait till you find out the Olmecs, who y'all call the Olmecs, were the Amorites. The Amorites were the Murs. The Murs were these technicians that Thoth kept with him. Thoth kept these technicians with him, these builders. So, when you talk about, when you look at all the what y'all call a Tartarian civilization, that's a Moorish civilization. That's a Moorish civilization. All these structures you see. Everything that we did, guys, they tried to hide it. They tried to hide it from you. Which movie? Which one you was talking about? The movie I was talking about the other day, 10,000 BC? They represent the Anunnaki in 10,000 BC. I told y'all go take a look at it. Yeah, they represent the Anunnakis represented in that movie. Yep. Yep, they represented in 10,000 BC. They represented in the beginning of True Lies. The She-Amuru, the Murs, the Murites. So they learned all of their building techniques. They were taught these things from the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki gave them the secrets to the game. Right? King Solomon was a Mur. Solomon's temple was a Murish temple. So like I say, when we start looking into this stuff, you're going to start seeing your society unfold. You're going to start seeing the society that you live in unfold, and stuff going to start making sense to you. But like I say, for anybody that want to go back to believing all of that other bullshit, feel free. Feel free. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is the truth, man. It's a reason that certain people are in power right now. It's a reason why we are treated the way we are treated in society. Think about this, guys. If black folks were so bad, right? You should surely be able to tell me about a civilization that we enslaved. Or tell me about how we bombed. Tell me about how we dropped atomic bombs on somebody. Who did we ever drop atomic bombs on? Huh? You don't hear about no stuff like that associated with us. So if we not that bad, if we haven't did this kind of dirt to nobody, why is it that we are subjugated or treated so badly? Divinity, what we're connected to, our birthright, our inheritance, what we own. When you say at the Moorish time, what you mean by that? Because when you're talking about the time of the Moors, we talking about going back 6,000 years. We talking about going back almost 5,000 years. So what time? Which time you talking about? Because if you're talking about, yeah, if you're talking about just the technical ability of the Moors, or I'm be honest with you, my brother, I really don't understand what you're trying to say. If I can expound on it, I will, but I just want to kind of understand what you're trying to say about being taxed on it. Exactly. Hey, the tablets tell us where we get our musical ability from. The tablets tell us where we get our musical ability from. Oh yeah, well you can't tax free energy. If we were still utilizing free energy, wouldn't be no way to tax that. But these free energy mechanisms are still in place. These cathodes on these Catholic churches, these bells and shit like that, these free energy sources, these things are still in play. It's just that the people who came in and took over your society said, we can't make no money off you if we letting y'all get free energy. That's why they killed Tesla. They killed Tesla because Tesla was finna give everybody free power. Right? JP Morgan and Westinghouse say, hold on, what you doing? We can sell this shit. Right? Tesla was finna give everybody free power. And they say, oh no, we gotta take this dude out, man. He too damn, he know too much. It's a little bit more complex than that, my brother. It's a little bit more complex than that. Us being enslaved is a little bit more complex than that. You got to remember that only a group of black people were enslaved. It was a group of people. It wasn't every black person was enslaved. Not every black person. You got some black people was living in wealth. You got some royal families, some African royals was living in wealth during the time of our enslavement. So it was just a specific group. These were mostly black American Indians that got enslaved. They didn't even enslave a lot of Africans. These were mostly black American Indians. That's what people got to learn, man. That's another thing, bro. We got to realize, bro, this shit, they been lying to y'all about all of that shit. We did research on here. Let me tell y'all something. We did the research that showed that it was impossible for the white man to load up shiploads of black people and travel them back and forth across the Atlantic. It was too dangerous. They didn't have the ship capacity, right? It ain't like now. It ain't shit. It's hard to move back and forth across the sea now. Imagine what it was like back in the fucking 1500s. So I'm telling y'all, they been lying to y'all about that. Yeah, they want y'all to believe this whole we bought them over here from Africa shit. That's, no, homie, we was already here. And they enslaved the people that was already here. We had folks living in We have folks living in high civilization, and we have folks living indigenously, living as indigenous people on the land. So no, it ain't just one, one thing that led to us being enslaved. They didn't enslave all black people, guys. They just enslaved the group of people that was over here on the American continent. They just enslaved us. Now, why you think these other groups, these Africans don't, why you think Africans don't sympathize with the slavery story? They don't give a shit about the slavery story. They don't connect to it. They don't feel no pain. It didn't happen to them. Think about that. Let's look at that right quick before I slow this thing down. Africans, y'all never even thought about that. Africans don't sympathize at all with the slavery story. Why is that? Why? If slavery was such this scourge that happened to Africa, these white men came up there and they did this and they did that. If it was such a scourge on Africa, why do they not sympathize? Why do they not even, they don't have no history on it. You know why? Because Africans sold Africans to white merchants. This is a fact. So I wish somebody would contest me, put up some money, put up some bread. I will show you a video of the president of Ghana apologizing because the president of Ghana was trying to get black Americans to come live over there. And the president of Ghana said, I want to issue an apology for what my ancestors did to your ancestors. We sold our brothers into slavery. We sold our brothers into slavery. We have to ask for forgiveness for that. I swear to God, I got the video to this day. So you got to ask yourself, why do they not sympathize? So we got to stop looking at our enslavement as an enslavement of the black of black existence. It was just us, guys. And we were enslaved because we was the owners of this land. You understand that? This great land that now we see how valuable America is. Look at America today. So now you can see the incentive for them wanting to take America over. We didn't treat America like we owned it. They wanted to own the land. We lived on the land. We respected the land. They wanted to own the land. Okay, I'm finna make some more sense. Dr. Noble Drew Ali said that Dr. Noble Drew Ali had been telling black folks, y'all need to tap into your Moorish heritage. Under your Moorish heritage, you have an inheritance of this land. Dr. Noble Drew Ali said that when Black America realized their connection to that Moorish heritage, they can wake up, go to the United Nations, be recognized as nationalized Moors, and be able to tap into the inheritance of this country. Now, the reason why they don't want y'all to do that is because that will instantly bankrupt America, because America belongs to you. And this is why you are enslaved and not the Native Americans. This is why they treat you bad and not them. They keep telling y'all what they did to them people, but think about it, guys. Yeah, it ain't making sense. It ain't adding up. The Native Americans would be known, they would be protected on a federal level. On an international level. They're not protected on the international level. They're protected on the federal level because they have a deal. They have a deal with the federal government. And the federal government screwed them over. The federal government decided that they will recognize them as the indigenous landowners if they were to help them overthrow us. So that's all they did was replace us and put them as a placate as the indigenous landowners when they're not. Trust me, man, the history exists on this, brother. They telling y'all that the Native Americans were these great growers. They helped the pyramids. They helped them. Man, in the 1800s, these people didn't even know how to plant crops, bro. I swear to God on my life. Don't make me pull up the information. I got the information from the Library of Congress. In the late 1800s, them people was around here starving because they didn't even know how to plant crops. To this day, I still don't know no Native Americans that's got farms and you ever seen a Native American grocery store? You ever seen a Native American grocery store? You ever seen a Native American restaurant? You ever seen a Native American restaurant? But these people supposed to be these great growers, these great agriculturists, boyish. Your grandmama and your granddaddy was the growers. Now, you know, if you from my era, you grew up and you probably grew up, I grew up on a farm, okay? So my uncles were farmers. My father was a farmer. My grandmama was a farmer. My grandfather was a farmer. We were the farmers, right? And when we had stores, my mama's dad had a store. Okay? And when we didn't have stores, we sold the vegetables to the grocery stores. My wife's grandfather had a large farm, and he used to supply grocery stores. So if you telling me these Native Americans was these farmers and they was growing this corn and they was growing this squash and they was doing, where is that now? Where is that now? They keep telling y'all, they try to make y'all think that the white man came in here and just killed all them people. You know damn well that man ain't even had the capability to come in and wipe out no damn way. They just developed that today. They got technology today to do that. They got bombs today where they can do stuff where they can eradicate people. They didn't have the ability to move around. Do y'all know how big America really is? America is not as small as you think. These Native American people, they want to tell you that they was the Indians on the southeast, right? All these places that we native to, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, all these places, Alabama, all these places that's native to us, they telling you that they from there, but it ain't one trace of them people in them places. One trace. You gone crazy. So they've been lying to y'all about everything, dog. I swear to God, I teach that too. I teach the great American lie. I'm gonna be sharing that with y'all. That's some of what y'all gonna get at some point in this course. I teach the great American lie where I show y'all the evidence. Okay? So y'all hang tight with Chief Kuttah, man. We're gonna have some fun. It ain't just this Anunnaki information. We also talk about, like I say, how we were enslaved, everything that they did to us in this country. We got all the proof. This is why I can't stand when I see folks talking about we pretendians, right? Like, nigga, we ain't making this shit up. We got the proof. We ain't just saying this stuff. We have the proof. We have the paperwork from scientists and historians talking about this stuff in the 1800s, talking about how black people was the first people here. We got the proof. So yeah, we not making it up. And they've been lying. They've been lying to y'all about every damn thing. So that's all I'm saying. Listen to me. This is all I'm asking you to do. If you know that they done lied to you about one thing, you think they telling the truth about the other stuff? If they done lied to you about one thing, do you think they telling the truth about all the other stuff? You notice the strategy of my teachings is to show melanated people where you've been deceived, right? So my thing is, I think a lot of people it's a lot of information that I think people wasting time on, right? So let's think about the culmination of knowledge. Man, it is miles and miles and miles and miles of knowledge out there. But we have to understand there is some pertinent knowledge that's more important than other knowledge. I think that we tend to think that all knowledge is pertinent. Now, knowledge is good, okay? I use the term fun fact people. It's a lot of people that will fun fact you to death, okay, on this damn internet. But what I'm telling y'all is this. I focus on the deceit, how we were deceived. What are we being lied to about, right? So everything that I teach is to show my people that, hey, they done lied to you about God. They lied to you about the church. They done lied to you about who you are, what you are, and where you came from. They lied to you about your abilities, right? So if they lied to you about all of this, why? Ask yourself that, because there's always a reason for why you tell a lie. Why are you lying? So in that reason lies our true power, what we really are. And what I want my people to know is this. We are severely sick, right? Imagine this, like go back, if you go back to the time of Nubia, of the time of Kim, right? You're going to see supreme melanated people. You're going to see strong, powerful melanated people, right? We so far away from that, right? Because this is what they done to us. So I tell people all the time, what if I told you, watch this shit. What if I told you you supposed to have the ability to fly? What if I told you you had the ability to travel astrally whenever you wanted to? Now, you so far from that ability. You know why? Because you're sick. We're all sick. Even when we think we feel healthy, even when we run around here thinking, oh, I'm all right, I feel good. That's because this is what you think feeling good feels like. What you are now, you think that's what feeling good. Because you don't know what it feels like if you lived a life where you only drink alkaline water. I'm talking about water from the stream. You don't know a life where you only ate electrical fruits. I'm talking about fruit directly from the trees. See what I'm saying? You don't know a life without meat. A life where you never had put meat in your body. You don't know that life. You don't know a life where you breathe clean air. You've been breathing in metals and these toxins. So I'm telling you right now, think about this. I'm going to show you how remarkable you is. Man's done put you through all of this trauma, right? But you still here surviving. You still breathing. You still here. You know why? Because we some remarkable creatures. They can't get rid of us, guys. They done tried so many times. You know how many times they done tried to stomp on us and bomb us and enslave us and jail us. They done tried many times, man. They cannot get rid of us, homie. We are eternal beings. Let's get it. Man, my love, Christ is the process, okay? Christ is the process. And that was the purpose, to teach you the process. If you understand that question right there, my love, that's a class in itself. You can't, you know what I'm saying? If you want to understand that, then you just got to stick with me. And as I go, I'll teach you more and more about, these concepts. But Christ is not a man. That's the process. It's called Christ consciousness. Okay. So the whole purpose is for us to understand how to vibrate high enough to attain Christ consciousness. It's a return to light. So like I say, that's a class in itself. People have to be taught this information because you've never been taught this stuff, man. They ain't never gave you the truth about nothing. Everything you have been taught is an absolute lie or a half truth. And a half truth is worse than a lie, because a half truth will string you along. Okay? So all of that shit, man, y'all got to just you got to just be reminded. Keep saying this to yourself. The foundations of all your religious information comes from your oppressor. It don't come from your people. Your people received it from no prayer. If you go back, right? So take grandma, go back to grandmama's grandmama and grandmama's grandmama. And if you keep going back, you're going to get far enough back to some people that was enslaved, that one day they showed up with this book and they trained them on the book. Yeah, exactly. So, the whole world has been misinformed. That's another thing. This is another thing. When you teaching this shit that I'm teaching, it's like, people like, hey man, like I ain't gonna believe him. He just one person. Cause the whole world go by this. But what did I just tell y'all earlier? It's way more ignorance than intelligence. I just told you a man who is wise unto God will be a fool unto man. If you go around validating your knowledge by saying, well, this is what the whole world believes, you a fucking fool. You a fool. Because the whole world is some idiots. It's this world, look at the world we live in. This world is overran with idiocracy, okay? So please don't validate your information on what the world's saying. And then that's another thing too, man. America got its own version of everything. So you've been trained on the American version. We just gotta stop. We gotta stop acting like this religion, like we did this. The religion is about us. The story is about us, but we lost our connection to the story. Oh no, not you, Corliss. I'm not talking to you individually, my love. This ain't to you. I'm talking about as a people. We talking about the folks that's in church, that's convinced themselves that this information is complete and legit because of how they feel. But they never research it. See, it's easy to believe in some shit that you don't research. Imagine if you was a woman in a relationship, right? And you in love with this guy. But then you got a friend and your friend seen this dude cheating on you. But you love this dude. You with this dude every day. This dude, you can't imagine that this dude ever do something foul to you. Right? You don't know he foul until you look into him. If you wake up every day with the belief that I know he good, I know he ain't doing nothing, it's until you look into him, then you see that he's doing something. So it's like that with everything. We accept religion at face value. We don't research it. We don't study it. We just accept it. We treat religion like it ain't history. Right? Why do we treat religion like it ain't history? I told y'all that the religion is nothing but history. When you look at Genesis, the story of Adam and Eve, that's Adam and Eve's history. The story of Cain and Abel, that's the history of Cain and Abel. The history of Noah and what took place. This is not spiritual. Nothing is spiritual about these stories. These is just the stories of these people at this time, at this time, at this time. Where's the spirituality at? So that's all. At the end of the day, man, I'm just trying to, I'm like, out here on this island, and I'm just trying to wake my folks up, man. Cause y'all got to see that we losing, guys. Y'all got to see, like, I know we like to dress nice. We like to party. We like to do all of this shit that make us feel like we winning. But we losing as a people. I tell y'all all the time. Let me make this clear one more time. Who controls your water? Who controls your power? Who controls your food source? I don't know why black folks celebrate. Why are you celebrating? Why are we celebrating and somebody else control our food source, our power source, our water source, our everything? They control every damn thing. So soon as they don't want to do something for us, As soon as they want to change their mind about how they feel about us, whatever, they can just cut it off. So we got to stop walking around this bitch like we ain't got work to do. The most important job right now is for us to be trying to figure out how we can come together, work together, build community, build independence. Why ain't nobody talking about that other than me? Is it a bad idea? Is it a bad idea for black people to come together and build their own ecosystem within this system? How is that a bad idea? How is that not the most important topic for us to be talking about? I swear I be baffled. I be baffled. I be like, it's almost like I'm the only person out this motherfucker that can see that we need to build our own communities. We need to invest in training our children to be able to compete in this tech world. All of these things, y'all out here worrying about the fucking election. I could care less about that election. Because this country gonna still be in the same messed up position it is because let me tell you something. That national deficit is not going nowhere. We owe money. We owe a lot of money. So it don't matter who you put in the White House. Yeah, we definitely did it before. We did it before because we was a different type of people then. We was a morally sound, spiritually sound people. We were a respectable people. We were a disciplined people. So we not that people as a whole no more. So now we got to find like-minded people. See, I'm not here for all of Black America. I'm not here for the Black community. I'm here for people that think like me. I'm here for people that move like me. You understand? Because them the people that we can build with. All right. So I'm looking forward to connecting with the like minds, the people that want to progress the community, that want to help us. Because some people don't give a shit about the community. Do y'all understand that? There are people out here that could care less. There are Black people out here that don't care about progression. They don't care about the children. All they care about is themselves. So we got to make sure we aligning ourselves with more of people that's like us, people that care, people that want to see progression. Because I don't want to throw the towel in. I see a lot of folks throwing the towel in for assimilation. Man, let's just become Americans just like everybody else. But our situation is not like everybody else. Our situation is not like everybody else. So we can't just join the party. Right? Y'all seen that video on my page of the Black man walking through his neighborhood and all the white folks came out to check him? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all seen that video. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all seen the video on my page of the Black man just walking through his neighborhood. Then out of nowhere, white, even a damn Pakistani. So no, we don't have the same situation. We don't have the same situation as everybody else, man. I pray to God don't nobody do that to me or my son, because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be on the 6 o'clock news. And it ain't going to be because I done lost my life. I couldn't imagine that, man. All this money we paying for these goddamn houses. For y'all to be walking around. But you know what tripped me out? So let me say this too. I told y'all in a live, I did a live a couple days ago, and I told y'all the white man was the author of gangsterism, right? I told y'all that the white man, steady trying to make y'all think that y'all are the gangsters, that y'all created all this gangsterific atmosphere, but it really comes from him. He showed you in that video. What you know what you saw in that video? You know what you saw in that video? You saw white men saying, nigga, what you doing on our block? Nigga, this our hood. Don't come in our hood. Who you know over here? That's basically what you saw. Huh? They got their own communities. They got their own communities. They don't want you in their communities. So guess what? We need to have our own communities. We need to have our own communities. And when I talk about that, guys, like I keep telling y'all, it ain't for all black people. We ain't bringing the hood with us. When I talk about melanated folk, the hood not coming. I'm from the trenches. I graduated out of that shit. If you don't graduate and evolve out of the hood, if you don't graduate and evolve out of the trenches, you can't come with us. We not taking a shinker shape. We not taking killer. We not taking shooter. We leaving them motherfuckers, let the white man deal with that because he created them. The white man gave them the guns. The white man gave them the drugs. All of the shit that the white man gave them is what created this hood dichotomy we have now. Now he give them that Popeye's chicken with all of that shit injected into them. They eating all of this food, that's his creation. So when we build our community, we building our community with morally sound, spiritually sound people who value community, people who gonna watch out for your kids. The kind of community I'm building, our kids gonna be able to play outside all night. They ain't gonna have to worry about, you remember when our parents used to let us play outside because they ain't have to worry about nobody kidnapping us? Y'all don't remember them days? We ain't used to have to worry about no kidnappings. We was in protected community with our community. And guess what? I remember, bro, I look back, bro, and I said to myself, damn. I said, I never seen a white man in our neighborhood. The neighborhood I grew up in. I think about back now as a kid. I look back and I say to myself, damn, we ain't never see a white man in the neighborhood. It was an all black neighborhood of middle class black folks. It was an all black neighborhood, middle class black folks that had good jobs, that had homes, yards. That's the community I grew up in. Miss Kim say, Miss Timo, when they come out there to turn it off. But like I say, in that community, man, listen, man, it was beautiful, dog. And I think in my spirit, I yearn to create that community. I yearn to recreate that community. I want so badly for my children to live in that type of community. All right, so that's my mission. My mission is to, lead us back to that. Because I think within community we can achieve greatness. Yeah, man, that's the mission, homie. That 550, that's the mission. Is to return to community. Is for us to achieve this greatness. I think that we can surpass these people, guys. Think about it, man. Think about how talented we is, man. Y'all, for 1 second, think about this. Why the fuck do we not own our own NBA? Why do we not own our own NBA? How is this possible? How? Y'all already got all these basketball players that played in the NBA, all these millions of dollars. How did these niggas not get together and say, hey, everybody, let's take out $1 million. Let's put $1 million up. Let's go put it in an account. Let's get the bank to match that, whatever we put in the account, and let's go build our own league. We giving away our power. Let me tell y'all something. White folks only respect force and money. They respect force and money. We gave away all of our money by signing up to play sports for these people instead of having our own. I'm so mad about what happened to the music industry. We gave that away. We gave the music industry away. Now these folks out here playing y'all pennies. They out here paying y'all half a penny for a fucking song. Man, when I was rapping, I was getting $10 a CD in high school. I used to come home with $2,000, $3,000. This was before I was dabbling in any like drugs or selling drugs. My mama thought I was selling drugs, but we was moving. My music was selling. We used to sell $10 a CD. How in the hell we get to a point where we letting these people give us a half a penny for your music now? And y'all think we live in an intelligent society. No, we don't. No, we don't. I care about my people, man. If I'm not out here fighting for my people, then who is? That's the way I see it. If I ain't fighting for my people, then who is, man? If I ain't bringing it to the own, because I don't always see it. I don't always see it. So I'm just tired of us losing, bro. And then another thing, I got children. If you don't got children, you know, this ain't gonna hit as hard. But I got children. So let me say this much. If you got children, now my dog Tory in jail because he shot that girl in the foot. That nigga in jail because he shot that girl in the foot. That's the facts on that. If you know Tory Lanez, you know that nigga's a hothead. He one of them niggas that he love arguing and fighting. He that just type of dude. He shot that girl in the foot. That's why he in jail. He ain't give up no game. That NFT shit don't even work. That NFT shit dead. That so many niggas got scammed. He scammed all them people. Them people ain't make no money off of that shit. Tory Lanez, man, had all them niggas go buy that NFT. Ain't none of them make. Trust me, brother. I made a good sum of money in crypto. NFTs was a dud. There was no money to be made from NFTs. That was all a sham. But no, you want me to give you the game? Let me tell you something. Yeah, that shit, ain't nobody was able to make no money off of that. That's impossible to make money off of his album. His album ain't got no intrinsic value. Shit. If anything, if you wanted to make an NFT out of an album, it would be a great classic album. Like you got Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. That album will sell on for infinity. Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z. That'll sell on Biggie Small. These are classic albums. If you were going to make an NFT, something that you can make money off of in the future, it'll be something like that, not Tory Lanez. But let me just be real. If he wanted to give people the game, let me give y'all the game right now. Direct to consumer. Direct to consumer is the game. I don't know why these rappers putting their music on Spotify. Man, I did a song on TikTok. It was just one verse. Man, I had over 2,000-3,000 people saying, man, where your music at? I want to buy your music. I want to support your music. I wish I would have put something together. So I don't know what the hell these dudes out here doing. If I was rapping, I would be direct to consumer. I would be rapping on TikTok, rapping on Instagram, building a base, and then having my people buy their music directly from me. Niggas out here talking about go check out Spotify. You letting them folks, you got 100 million people listening to your music and you done made $32.15. Shit. Man, it's crazy, man. Come on now. So we just, we giving away the game. We gave away the power. We giving away all our industry. We making fashion. Look at what we doing for fashion right now. Watch this shit. So watch this. Gucci and Louis didn't want to fuck with us at all. Gucci and Louis didn't want to have nothing to do with black folks. Found out that Dapper Dan was making a version of their clothes that the black drug dealers in the hood was eating it up. Right? And they still ain't come calling. And they still ain't want to fuck with it. Right? Fast forward now. Now we wearing this shit everywhere. We making it hot. We the ones who buying it. We the ones who buying it. Right? Now all of a sudden, oh, let me give a black man a job. Let me give Virgil a job. Come on, Virgil. Come on over here and make us some more money. Make us another $1 billion. Let me give Virgil a couple dollars and he can come make us $1 billion. They'll give you $100 million if you can make them $2 billion. See, that's how they get niggas. Yes, I got the $100 million. Okay, good. But they finna make $2 billion off of you. We giving away the power. We can't be surprised. We can't be surprised at our situation. Because we giving away the power. We just got to do better as a people, man. We got to do better. I'm sorry. I told y'all, for people that's just following me now, I made a vow that in 2025, I'm not listening to no black complaints. Because all this fucking complaining, the time of complaining is over. I'm tired of us blaming them folks for what they supposed to do. Your enemy supposed to step on you. Your enemy supposed to oppress you. It's like black folks around this bitch hoping that their enemy treat them good. Y'all waiting on Satan to love you and be fair to you and do right by you. That man ain't gonna love you. That man ain't gonna be fair to you. We the only ones out here still asking for fairness instead of creating a system where we can take the fairness. So that's at the end of the day, guys, listen. At some point, we're going to have to start working on going forward. Chief Kuttah and the UMF initiative is a plan for black people to move forward.